You know that something's wrong when weekly unexpected deaths continue to go up, and oddly enough, there's a lot of it happening over in the UK. A new bill has just been proposed that will effectively ban lawmakers from trading stocks. It's named after one particular lawmaker, and I'm giving you guys one chance to guess what you think this bill is going to be named after. Have you typed it in yet? I can't wait to look in the comments on this video. And also, I don't know if you can accidentally declare war against another nation, kind of like accidentally sending a text that you weren't finished writing, but anyway, it seems as if Germany just did that. Now, while I'm hoping it doesn't happen, I just saw hashtag WW3 trending on Twitter, and that's obviously not a great sign. We do not need World War III happening. Now, before I continue, please take a second, smash the like button. I really appreciate that, guys, and it certainly helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're in need of your daily dose of the truth when it comes to what's happening in Washington, D.C., the stock market, global happenings, the housing market, Social Security, SSI, SSDI, SNAP, and EBT, and everything that's going on in Washington that affects our lives, our families, and our bank accounts, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. The link is in the description down below of this video. Now, the war in the Ukraine has been going on for quite some time, and it's very, very clear that things can only escalate from this point. Now, while I've heard plenty of leaders say that they don't want to make things worse, their actions say otherwise, and it wouldn't be the first time, would it? Now, one of these decisions is from Germany, and their intent to send Leopard 2 tanks to Kiev's troops. Now, after hearing this news, Ukrainian President Zelensky was pleased, but basically said, hey, we're going to need more of those. The announcement from Berlin may give way for other European nations who own these types of tanks to re-export some of their vehicles. Ukraine's foreign minister said this for their hesitance in sending tanks. Quote, I call on all new partners that have Leopard 2 tanks in service to join the coalition and provide as many of them as possible. They are free now. End quote. The United States may have just waited until Germany announced their intent to send tanks just so that they can avoid the blame of sending them first. You remember when the president said this?
But look, the idea that we're going to send in offensive equipment and have planes and tanks and trains going in with American pilots and American crews, just understand, and don't kid yourself, no matter what you all say, that's called World War III.
And while I agree we should not escalate an already delicate situation, it seems as if the White House and President Biden completely forgot about this statement.
Today, I'm announcing that the United States will be sending 31 Abrams tanks to Ukraine, the equivalent of 1 Ukrainian battalion. Secretary Austin has recommended this step because it will enhance the Ukraine's capacity to defend its territory and achieve its strategic objectives. The Abrams tanks are the most capable tanks in the world. They're also extremely complex to operate and maintain. So we're also giving Ukraine the parts and equipment necessary to effectively sustain these tanks on the battlefield. And we'll begin to train the Ukrainian troops on these issues of sustainment, logistics, and maintenance as soon as possible. Delivering these tanks to the field is going to take time. Time that we'll use to make sure the Ukrainians are fully prepared to integrate the Abrams tanks into their defenses.
I'm not even going to say much after that because I think the footage speaks for itself. Russia is not very happy with these decisions. Now, while they haven't spoken about the United States' decision, they have condemned the one from Germany. Their ambassador to the country has already said that, quote, this is an extremely dangerous decision, takes the conflict to a whole new level of confrontation, end quote, while adding that this could cause irreparable damage to the already deplorable state of Russian-German relations, end quote. It also doesn't help that Germany's foreign minister, Annalena Baerbock, just said this.
Yes, we have to do more to defend Ukraine. Yes, we have to do more also on tanks. But the most important and the crucial part is that we do it together and that we do not do the blame game in Europe because we are fighting a war against Russia and not against each other.
That did not look like an accident. It's like she very well meant to say that Germany was at war with Russia. Does this also mean that the United States will be next? Now, coming back home, something very, very interesting, rather peculiar, is brewing in the United States Senate as Senator Josh Hawley just introduced the Pelosi Act. What's in this bill? Well, from the letter itself, it is for preventing elected leaders from owning securities and investments. In short, the Pelosi Act. I guess it's a huge coincidence that the former U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has a husband who manages to do very well for himself when it comes to the stock market and his and her investments. The bill would require any profits that's made by a lawmaker to be returned to American taxpayers. Does this bill have a clawback option for previous trades? I didn't see that line item in there, but I'm willing to bet it's not there. But here's my question though, will it pass? I mean, the same people who are voting on it are the same exact bunch of politicians who can benefit from insider trading. Do you guys believe that enough of them will vote to pass this? They don't stand to gain anything from this. Or is this just another show and lip service for the American public that we shouldn't expect anything to get done from? Also, consider the timing. Nancy Pelosi is done as House Speaker, and now all of a sudden this bill comes up? Kind of like, well, I'm done playing this game anyway, so, y'all can do whatever you want. Now, speaking of getting something done, it is just crazy to think that governments aren't looking at excess deaths more. In the United Kingdom, 3,000 more people are dying per week compared to the usual number. And no, it is not due to the C-19 virus. Now, out of all of the excess deaths, C-19 only attributed to 5% of the total, which means that this is something completely different. Now, the question of whether this is a remote occurrence can't be answered easily because they're not even sure if the numbers are accurate and if the other countries are reporting their excess deaths honestly. Wow, trust is a factor. Well, here in our country, we've already seen almost 500,000 excess deaths from February 2020 until last year. So what do you guys make of this? Now, it's really a mystery as to what these deaths can be attributed to. Now, if you ask the unelected leaders in Switzerland, they may blame fossil fuels. Now, it's funny though that they scold their own fellow billionaires as they ride off in their private jets. This is exactly what happened with Bill Gates as he flew his $70 million private jet that's obviously not electric into Australia, where he warned and lectured them about climate change. Meanwhile, his G5 jet is probably burning about 100 gallons of fuel per minute. And for my next presentation, I'll be eating a hamburger while I tell you how to lose weight. You see how these things don't match? His private jet burns around 1,700 liters of fuel per hour. I can't even fathom that. Although Gates is sort of aware of his hypocrisy. In a book in 2021, he wrote this, quote, "I am aware that I am an imperfect messenger on climate change. The world is not exactly lacking in rich men with big ideas about what other people should do or who think technology can fix any problem. I own big houses and fly in private jets. In fact, I took one to Paris for the climate conference, so who am I to lecture anyone on the environment? I plead guilty on all three charges. I can't deny being a rich guy with an opinion. I do believe, though, that it is an informed opinion, and I'm always trying to learn more," end quote. So, what do you guys make of this? Do you accept Bill Gates' apology? Do you agree that we should all be learning more, especially during this period of time where layoffs are expected? Not one job is safe, so I suggest that you guys try to read up. Now, if you, however, want some assistance when it comes to learning more about managing your budget, creating side hustles and small businesses with the possibility of having multiple streams of income, or even if you're looking at the stock market or real estate and you want to become an investor, my lines are wide open and the details are in the description. Please don't hesitate to get in touch with me, and also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. We should not stay quiet when we have the facts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Be safe.